My name is Thomas Hale. The yellow sign does not whisper anymore. It burns in my left hand, under the skin, behind my eyelids, in every reflection I avoid. 3 weeks since the Arkham Wharf, ash instead of bodies, yellow threads instead of blood. 3 weeks, my name echoes in the pipes at night. I tried to ignore it. I stayed in Boston, locked the door, drank coffee until dawn, but the veins in my left hand kept glowing, faint at first, like candlelight through paper, then brighter, spreading like cracks in old porcelain. Every morning I checked the mirror. Every morning the cracks were longer, 1 more inch, 1 more vein. I stopped looking after the 5th day, then the letters arrived. Plain brown envelopes, no stamp, no return address. Only Innsmouth on the front, slipped under the door, 3 in the morning, when the house creaks, when the radiator hisses like breathing. I didn't open the first one right away. I sat on the edge of the bed, 20 minutes. Cigarette burned to the filter, smoke rose, shaped like the sign, for 1 second. I crushed it out, lit another. The room smelled of tobacco and salt. Salt that wasn't there yesterday. I tore it open. Photographs, grainy, night. A young woman on a rotten jetty, mouth open, scream or prayer. Behind her, things rising from black water, fins, eyes, scales shining like oil. In the corner of each photo, faint stamp. U.S. Navy Intelligence, classified. Note inside, they know about the sign. They think you are their weapon. Come to Innsmouth before it is too late, or they take you first. I read it 3 times. I sat in silence. The radiator hissed. The throb in my chest matched it. Slow, heavy. I thought about burning the envelope, thought about leaving Boston, thought about anything but going north. But my left hand throbbed harder. Veins pulsed like they had a heartbeat of their own. They said, go. I packed the valise, checked the revolver. 5 bullets, each scratched with the sign. Strapped the dagger under the coat. Blade warm, hungry. I stood in the doorway, 5 minutes, listened to the city outside. Cars, horns, voices, normal sounds. I closed the door, locked it, walked down the stairs. Each step felt heavier. Train to Newburyport, half-empty car. I sat by the window, collar up, fedora low. Outside, hills dying, turning into marshes. Marshes breathing, slow, heavy. I watched the landscape change. Trees thinned. Grass turned yellow. Air smelled of salt. Even through the closed window, I closed my eyes. The throb followed me. Deeper now, like something rolling over far below the mud. Newburyport station smelled of diesel and dead fish. Taxi driver took one look at me and shook its head. Innsmouth. No, mister. Not past the bridge. Not after dark. I walked the last mile. Sky lead gray. Wind from Mannocks that carried charred wood, gunpowder, blood, and a deep throb in my chest, in my teeth. I stopped once, leaned against a rusted signpost, breathed. The air tasted wrong, like copper and brine. I looked at my left hand. Veins glowed a little brighter. I pulled the sleeve down, kept walking. Innsmouth looked chewed, spat out. Half roofs collapsed, black scorch marks climbing walls, windows shattered, doors torn off, streets empty, except wreckage and bodies, scales under ripped shirts, gills dried, cracked, like old paper. I walked slowly, avoided shadows, avoided windows, avoided anything that could reflect my face. Gilman House still stood, sign half burned. Inside, dim lobby, mildew, old tobacco, man behind desk, rumpled suit, tie loose, hands shaking on cigarette. He looked up. "You're Hale." I nodded. "Ellis, Naval Intelligence. Sit." I sat. He slid dossier across. Photos, cables, handwritten notes. He flicked ash. "They blame you," he said quietly. "What you did in Arkham. Burned them with that knife. Word spread underwater. They think you are one of the yellow ones. They want you. Tonight." I stared. "I'm not." Thin smile. "Doesn't matter. They believe you woke something. Something that should stay still." He pushed map. Hand-drawn, tunnels, Devil Reef. They gather. Wait for high tide. Want answers about the girl? Go now. I took the map, left the dossier, walked into fog. I stood outside Gilman House. 2 minutes. Listened. Wind, distant water, throb in my chest. I pulled sleeve up, veins, brighter. I pulled it down, walked toward the waterfront. Waterfront nightmare, charred pilings, half-sunken boats, air, smoke, salt, fear, throb now in my bones. They waited at the end of the longest jetty. Dozens, newer ones, almost human. Semicircle around a girl tied to a piling, eyes still human, full of terror. She saw me, whispered my name. Leader stepped forward, tall, gray-green skin, eyes burning. "Sign bearer, you burned our blood. Tonight, we burn yours." Revolver up. I didn't come to burn, I came to end it. Wet laugh. "Too late? You woke it? Now we give you to it." They charged. I fired. First one falls. Sign ignites inside. Yellow threads rip him open. Black blood sprays thick, stinking of fish and iron. Second shot, same. Dagger flares. Each slash tears flesh. Scales split. Meat peels back. Blood pours. Black, hot. They scream, "Haster!" before collapsing into foam, tatters, chunks of meat and bone. Too many. Claws tear my coat. Blood runs down my arm. Hot, sticky. One grabs my wrist. Sign flares, burns his palm. Skin melts. Flesh bubbles. He howls, releases. Girl screams. One drags her toward water. I lunge, slash his arm. Black blood jets, splashes my face. Tastes of salt and rot. She falls. Then, voice from fog. Low, calm. "Enough." Woman steps from mist. Tall, pale, dark hair pinned, eyes storm gray, long coat, salt-crusted, silver pendant, crescent moon, black stone. Hybrids freeze, eyes wide. "Celine," leader hisses, "you have no place here." Thin, cold smile, "I have every place." She raises pendant, black stone pulses, low sound, bell underwater, hybrid stagger, some clutch heads, others dive, fleeing. She looks at me. Hale, you bleed through. Come, before high tide brings more. I hesitate. Girl stares at her, shocked. Who are you? Someone who keeps things sleeping, she says. For now. She turns to me. They think you woke it. Navy thinks you are the problem. Yellow ones think you are theirs. But the rift is in you, widens, every time you use that dagger. I look at blade, still glowing, veins pulsing, with throb from sea. She offers hand. Safe house, outside town, we talk about sign, about why it dreams your name. I take her hand, cold, steady. We run alleys, burning buildings, bridge. We reach Newburyport side, dawn gray, cold. Girl, trembling, looks at Celine. You saved us. Why? Celine meets my eyes. Because war is no longer yellow against deep. It is awake, against asleep. And you, Hale, are the hinge. I look at hand, yellow veins to elbow. Beneath, faint, pattern like tentacles, curling in sleep. Celine places pendant in my palm. Keep close, quiet dreams, for a while. I close fingers. Throb eases slightly. Then she speaks, quiet, almost whisper. One more thing. She pulls folded yellow paper from coat, unfolds it. Single line, my handwriting. The play is not finished. The final act requires the detective. I stare. She watches. Found it in your room, Boston, night before you left. You wrote it in sleep. You don't remember, do you? Pendant heats in palm. Too hot. Veins flare. Sharp. And I understand. Letters, photos, map, ambush, Celine, all of it. Not chance. I wrote the invitation to myself. Sign used me. Thing in deep dreamed me here. I obeyed without knowing. Selena's voice, very soft. Now you see, rift is not in sea. It is in you. I look at revolver, one bullet left. At dagger, still hungry, at girl. She stares back. Recognition, not fear. Pendant burns palm. Celine leans closer, her breath cold. There is more, she says, north, far north, in the Canadian wastes, where wind never stops. Something else hears the sign now, something that walks on frozen feet, with eyes like starved moons. It has no name men can speak, but it knows yours, and it is coming south, drawn by the same throb you feel, the same yellow light in your veins. She pauses. The sea dreams, the wind watches, and both are waking at once. I look north, beyond the gray horizon, beyond the marshes and the cold, toward places where trees stop growing, where snow never melts, where the wind carries screams no one hears. The throb in my chest changes, deeper, colder, not from the sea anymore, from somewhere higher, from endless white plains where nothing should live. The pendant in my palm grows colder too, and somewhere far beyond the coast, in the endless frozen dark, something vast begins to move. Thomas Hale, somewhere north of Innsmouth.